Hey, what's going on, guys? Some of you were asking me earlier, for updates on the shooting of rapper Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey, was a good brother, and he, represented the community well. Shooting of rapper Nipsey. He was just shot today and killed outside his store, and I just saw a video, and I didn't really know exactly how to address it. I didn't really know how to. I don't even know what to say. I'm kind of at a loss of words from what I just saw, what I just witnessed, online. And I'm gonna tell you what I think I'm bringing it to you not from like a gossipy standpoint, but from kind of a what the fuck kind of standpoint. I don't have anything to say. I'm just going to show it, and you can hear it if you're not able to see. If you're on Facebook, you won't be able to see it. You'll be able to hear it. This is a video that somebody sent me where they said that that there was this guy on Instagram who's running around bragging that he shot Nipsey Hussle. I don't know if any of y'all heard about that video or saw it. What I'm gonna do is I'll just play it, and I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Hold on. So let me play it. So again, if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, you'll hear it. If you're on drboystv.com, you'll see it. Either way, it doesn't matter if you hear or you see it. It's just probably. I mean, the best way to describe it is a big pile of nigga shit. Like that's it. That's probably the most accurate way to describe it. And let me play it. Here it is. So it's a guy. It's on Instagram. There's a picture of Nipsey in the bottom left hand corner. There's one guy at the top who's talking to another guy, and the guy at the bottom that he's talking to is in a car, and he says that he's running from the cops because he says I just shot Nipsey Hussle. And somebody says he's clout chasing. I don't think he's clout chasing, but anyway, let's play. I'll play the video.
Nigga know it's bracket, nigga. Fuck Nipsey Hussle, nigga. Shot that dumb boy, nigga.
But
Yeah,
I'm not
nigga.
even nothing about
I seen him.
Their homies fool, no cat fool. That ain't nothing to play about.
Nigga, I'm not playing about none of that shit, nigga. I seen him in front of all money in store, nigga. Seen him with his daughter, nigga. I shot him, nigga. I was like, hey, where you from? He was like, I'm from 60. I said, all right, nigga, GBO, shot him, nigga. Got loose, nigga. I'm on the E-way right now doing the dash, nigga. I got away from the crime scene, nigga.
Bro, so you telling me and everybody else on this motherfucking line that you shot Nipsey Hussle?
I shot Nipsey Hussle. Gas to McWinnie. I shot Nipsey Hussle. Come get me, nigga. I shot him.
Bro, you did not shoot Nipsey, fool.
I did on me.
Any nigga that shot somebody, bro, they're not gonna be, nigga, they not gonna get on Instagram and tell us that they shot him. Like,
I don't care, fool. It's too many witnesses. Everybody already know I shot him, fool. Like, the police can already come and get me, fool. I don't care.
Okay, so some of y'all saying it's fake, and I want to believe it's fake. I can't believe anybody's that stupid. But let's not pretend like we haven't seen people that are that stupid. I mean, seriously, we've seen rappers snitching on themselves since gangster rap got super popular. It ain't like he would be the first rapper to be self-snitching, right? And he says in the video, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of believed it honestly. He said, he's basically saying he's saying fuck Nipsey. There's witnesses. I saw him in front of the store with his daughter. I don't know. I mean, honestly, there are young people, mostly as young people, like people that were around before the internet blew up, just know how stupid that is. But don't tell me that it's not, possible that this is not a real video. I don't know. Tell me if you guys know that it's not true. I mean, let me know, and that's fine. But I'm not going to assume it's not. I'm going to tell you like an example. I remember the first time I saw Trinidad James. Y'all remember Trinidad James? Gold all in my chain, gold all in my ring, gold all in my watch. Don't believe me, just watch. Nigga, 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 don't believe me, just watch. And I saw it, and the video was so full of stereotypes. It was so fucked up and pathetic. It's so just a minstrel show. I was like, oh my God, what is this? Right. And then somebody said, oh, Dr. Boyce, that video's a fake. That's a hoax. That's not even real. That's a spoof. And I was like, oh, okay, I must be getting old because I thought it was real. My bad, blah, blah. So I walked away. I was like, okay, well, it was a hoax. It was a spoof. But no, it wasn't real. And it turned out it was real. It was real. So you can't put nothing past the ridiculousness and the coonery that we're seeing like online and seeing in the music. I mean, there's no limit to it. There's no limit. So you're going to tell me that there's no chance that this video could be real? I'm going to tell you the truth. I believe that it's real. I believe that it's real. And if it is him, part of me feels like he definitely deserves to get his ass kicked. There's another part of me that honestly feels sorry for him. You remember, killers and thugs do not come out of their mother's womb. Don't nobody come out of their mother's womb as a gangster. You come out as a sweet, innocent baby, who trusts and loves everybody. Like nobody comes out, and is born ready to kill people. Nobody does that, right? Society makes you into that. White supremacy makes you into that. White people teach us to hate each other to the point where we want to see a black person dead, right? So part of me is angry at him, but given the age that I am, where I'm looking at this guy and he's young enough to be my son, there's a part of me that feels very bad for him. I feel really bad for him that he doesn't understand the gravity and the magnitude of what he's done to the community and how many lives he's affected. If he was in fact the person who shot down Nipsey Hussle. Sean Miller says he's a troll. I'll post his Instagram for you. Well, if he's a troll, so either he's stupid in the sense that he did it and he's snitching on himself, or he's stupid in the sense that he doesn't understand how serious this is and this ain't funny. This is not a time to chase clout. Or if you get clout, you're gonna get the wrong kind of clout. Nobody's gonna respect you if you're the guy who's running around pretending like you killed Nipsey Hussle. That's not even funny. Like nobody will. That's not. So, and you can look at the face. I mean, I'll play the video again. But if you look at the guy's face, who he's talking to, his friend is like serious. His friend is looking at him like, yo, like you're not really sitting here admitting that you shot Nipsey Hussle. And if you are, you telling everybody on Instagram that you did this. Like I'm sorry, I can't help but to feel like it could be real. Maybe it's not. Let me see. I'll share it again and just listen to his words. Like pay close attention to how he expresses himself, how the other guy talks, the other guy's facial expression. If it's a joke, it's a good joke. I mean, not a good joke in a good way, but a good joke in the sense that he really pulled it off because I'm convinced. I believe that it's real. So let me play it again.
Nigga know it's bracket. Nigga, fuck Nipsey Hussle. Nigga, shot that dumb boy. Nigga.
But
Yeah,
nigga.
I seen him.
Their homies fool, no cat fool. That ain't nothing to play about.
Nigga, I'm not playing about none of that shit, nigga. I seen him in front of All Money In store, nigga. Seen him with his daughter, nigga. I shot him, nigga. I was like, hey, where you from? He was like, I'm from 60. I said, all right, nigga, GBO, shot him, nigga. Got loose, nigga. I'm on the E-way right now doing the dash, nigga. I got away from the car seat, nigga.
Bro, so you telling me and everybody else on this motherfucking ride that you shot Nipsey Hussle?
I shot Nipsey Hussle. Gas to make money. I shot Nipsey Hussle. Come get me, nigga. I shot him.
Bro, you did not shoot Nipsey, fool.
I did on me.
Any nigga that shot somebody, bro, they not gonna get on Instagram and tell us that they shot him. Like,
I don't care, fool. It's too many witnesses. Everybody already know I shot him, fool. Like, the police can already come and get me, fool.
Oh, now here, this sparks a couple of thoughts. Okay, the first thought is if it's real, right? If it's real, it's not inconceivable that his last act as a free man would be to get on Instagram. Seriously. I mean, if you're about to go to prison and your freedom's about to be taken, you're about to be locked down for 25, 30 years till you're an old man, why wouldn't you go ahead and just go all out? Like there are guys that do that. They have what they call suicide by cop, where they just say, I'm gonna go out guns blazing, I'm gonna let the cops kill me so that everybody will know that I was here. Everybody will know that I'm dead and that I went out a certain way or whatever, right? So there are people who do that when it comes to suicide by cop. So why is it so crazy that a person would, if they were, being chased by the police, not put it on Instagram, especially that we live in a world right now where social media clout is considered very important. Like it's considered a big deal. So it's like a life-changing kind of thing where people get likes and shares and all this other stuff. They think that's a big deal, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if the video is real. I haven't, authenticated it. And I'll say this too. Let me say this. I've heard what people have said. I've seen what the celebrities have said. I saw Tariq Nasheed. He has something to say about it. And I'm open to all the possibilities. We know that COINTELPRO is corrupt. We know about the Dr. Sebi documentary. We know about joining the hood. We know about all these things. But let me say this. Let me just say this, just to be honest with you. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm not even speculating as if I know exactly what happened, but I will give you my honest opinion. I reached out to a friend of mine who's a member of the Crips. I reached out to him in LA and I said, and I know he knows Nipsey, he knows everybody. I said, what happened here? Like, tell me, give me the real deal. Like, give me the situation. And he basically said he chalked it up to nigga shit. He chalked it up to nigga shit. Now I know at the end of the day, we don't want to believe that that's what it is. Like we want to act like, okay, it's a deep state code red CIA operative, operation because they want to take him out because he's going to reveal the secrets of Dr. Sebi and everything else. Well, you can Google search and find out about Dr. Sebi. Killing Nipsey Hussle is not going to keep black people from learning about Dr. Sebi or what he said about curing AIDS and everything else. Like, seriously, I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying that, if it does turn out that he was killed by people that look like us, we must also consider the possibility that we got some work to do in our community, because I know niggas that kill niggas. Excuse me, I know niggas that kill black people. Because black people don't kill black people and black people don't kill niggas. But we know niggas who kill black people. Tell me if you know of a black person who has shot another black person. And it wasn't no conspiracy. It wasn't no conspiracy. Seriously. I know. So I just really think, again, I'm not telling anybody what to do, what's true and what's not, because a lot of these things we still don't know. I'm just saying, every time a black man gets shot, it ain't because the FBI and the CIA and the NSA and the CBA and the NBA all got together and decided to run an operation and take somebody out. Sometimes they just picked a fight with the wrong motherfucker. And like my father always said, my father told me when I was a kid, he always said, if you got something to lose, you got to be very careful if you're constantly around people that have nothing to lose. He didn't say don't do it. He just said you must be aware of that and you must be prepared for what that means. If you're not ready to go to the limit with this other man, then you shouldn't be engaging with that other man. So Nipsey was a guy, it seems to me, he wasn't no punk. He seems like a guy that was ready to go to the limit because he did something that was very brave, very noble. He was in the hood building businesses in places where white people don't go and a lot of black people won't go. He was engaging with in spaces and with individuals that a lot of people will be afraid to. And I think that he should be honored for that. I think that that's what a man does. A man understands that business is war, economics is war, building a community is war. Kenny Gamble, who's an OG out in Philadelphia, I talked to him a lot. He's a part of the Gamble and Huff songwriting group. He wrote a lot of famous songs, brilliant man. Let me tell you about Kenny Gamble. Kenny Gamble, when he became famous as a musician, he did what Nipsey Hussle did. He made all his money. And he didn't go out and buy big cars. All his friends were buying big cars and coats and women and trips and all this other stuff, right? He didn't do none of that. He took his money and went back to the neighborhood that he grew up in, and he bought about 200 or 300 houses in their neighborhood. And he tried to get his friends to invest with him, and none of them would do it. And in fact, when he bought his mother said, I don't want to live in that house. And he said, why not? She said, because too many bad memories. And that's too bad of a neighborhood. You got pimps, hookers, drug dealers, killers, gangsters, the whole nine right there in that neighborhood. But Kenny went back into this neighborhood and Kenny said, we're going to reclaim our community. We are going to reclaim this community. We're going to reclaim what is ours. And so Kenny went to the neighborhood and he had guys that were with him and they would have conversations with the pimps and the killers and the thugs and the gangsters and basically say, you're not going to do this anymore. You're not going to terrorize this community anymore. And he said, look, and you can either leave peacefully or be responsible for what happens to you. That was how he had to do it. He had to match them in terms of his willingness to die for what he believed in. And as a result, years later, that community, if you were to walk through that community now, first two things you notice. One is that Kenny's company owns damn near every single building in this section of Philadelphia, which is a very, which has valuable real estate now because the property value started going up once the white folks started coming back in. So he did black gentrification back in the 1970s and the 1980s. That's the first thing you notice. His company owns damn near everything. Second thing you notice is that the neighborhood feels very safe and comfortable, a far cry from what it was in the 1970s and 1980s when he came in and set up shop. That's what a real man does. That's what you do. And the thing about it though, is that sometimes it don't work out. Sometimes you go to war and you don't come back home. You come back in a body bag. But does that mean that you were stupid for going to war? No. Does that mean that your decision was the wrong one? No. Does that mean that you were trying to set up in the wrong someplace where you feel like it's safer? No. It means that even if you die, you died for something. At least, if Nipsey died, I mean, if he died because he's right there in the hood with his people, building up for his people and dealing with the toughest of the toughest situations, then I'm very proud of him for that, because dying for something is a whole lot better than living for nothing. And 99% of us ain't living for shit. A whole lot of people are living, they're still breathing, they're still, walking around, but they're pretty much the walking dead because they're so scared of something bad happening that they won't take any chances. The first runaway slave probably didn't succeed. The first runaway slave probably got shot up, got his foot cut off, got killed, got castrated, got beat down, or whatever it was, because they tried to escape and it didn't work out. But that does not mean that they made a bad decision. And so with Nipsey, what I think about is, because I had somebody send me a Facebook message. I've been getting all kinds of Facebook messages about this all day. And one thing that somebody asked me is, they said, does Nipsey Hussle's situation, like, how does that make you feel about building up in the hood? Like, should we really be trying to build in the hood because it's too dangerous? I said, no. You see, that's how you build a community, is you must have resilience. You must have people that are willing to die in order for other people to live. The reason that you can live right now, the reason you live so well right now, is because somebody died for you to be here. And it wasn't white Jesus. It was a black person that died for you to have the freedoms you have right now. Seriously. So my question to black people in general is, are you willing to die for something greater than yourself? Are you willing to die for somebody else? Because until you're willing to die for something you believe in, you really have not yet lived. You have not yet lived until you're ready to die. I've always been ready to die. Don't you think I've always known that I live in Chicago? I pissed off the political elite. I've been empowering black people economically for many, many years. I've been saying things other people won't say. Do you think I've never thought about the fact that in Chicago, black people today, a block away from President Obama's house? Do you think I haven't thought about the fact that they can literally pay a couple gangbangers $50 and say, go kill that nigga over there on that street, and that I would die in a pool of blood and people would just think I just got killed in a random drive-by or in a robbery or something? I thought about all of this. And the reason that it doesn't bother me or faze me is because the thing about it, the news flash that you got to remember is that you're going to die. We're all going to die. We're going to die soon. In a few years, a lot of y'all won't be here in a few years. You're going to stop breathing. You're going to be dead. So my thought was, well, shit, I'm going to die at some point. At least I get to die for something. I just hope I don't die over some dumb shit. So I think with Nipsey Hussle, here's the interesting thing, and maybe this is too soon to say this. I don't even know. I'm not politically correct. I'm not good at saying what people want to hear. I'm just good at saying what's on my mind. I believe, based on the reactions that I'm seeing from people, that I believe that Nipsey, in his death, has made one of the greatest contributions that any black man has made in the history of our community. I believe that in his death, he has wakened up so many people. I believe our community is a little woker today than it was the day before Nipsey got killed. I can just tell, I'm looking at the comments, I'm seeing people like LeBron James and Rihanna and Drake and giving their condolences, RIP Nipsey Hussle, he's a great man, I can't believe this happened to you. And I think that it's the tragic way he died, the senseless way he died, that has made people reflect on the powerful way in which he lived. And it makes people feel a sense of loss to say, God damn it, like this guy was doing so many great things. Why did he have to die over something so silly? Whatever it was, right? Maybe, but again, maybe it wasn't. Maybe you're right. I'm not even gonna say you're not right. Maybe it was a government conspiracy. Maybe, again, we know the government has conspired to do other things, right? They've killed other people, in ways that you never would have guessed, that you figured out 50 years later. So I'm not gonna say that's not right. I'm not gonna say that didn't happen. I'm trying to talk about what we know for sure and what's really in front of us. What we know for sure is that he's dead. That's all you motherfucking know. You know that he was dead, he got shot, you know the location. That's all you know for sure. The rest is speculation and innuendo, right? So at that point, based on what you know, you can then extrapolate off of that and talk about what happens to the community as a result of this. And I personally think that I'll say this. If I had a chance, if I had a choice, I want to say me. I'm not going to put me in there because I don't even know how this sounds, but I will say that I wouldn't be surprised if you were to ask a Nipsey Hussle, a person who has faced death in so many situations, who lived in a community where death was served on a platter every single day of the week. I mean, he probably had dozens of friends that were killed by the time he was 25 years old. So he's got post-traumatic stress disorder, like a lot of our young people have. Use death when you're that young. Just so you know, that does disrupt the circuits in your brain. It does cause permanent psychological damage. So a lot of our young people have PTSD. But I'd be willing to bet you that if you told Nipsey, look, you can live a long life, and if you don't ruffle any feathers, and everything's gonna be fine, and you're gonna die quietly, no one will know, or you could die in a situation that wakes up the entire world and elevates Black people to a new level of consciousness and impacts millions of people to think differently, act differently, raise their children differently, and to remember you very differently, to really put you in a special place in their heart. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, that's not a bad deal at the end of the day. I'm not saying that anybody would want to be dead. I'm not saying that at all. We would never say that. But I have noticed when it comes to real men, when it comes to men who really know how to lead, men who really care about their cause, they get to a point where they don't care. They're ready to die. Biggie's last album was called what? If I'm not mistaken, Ready to Die, right? Tupac, before he died, all he did was rap about death because he's like, well, I'm about to die. Soldiers kind of get to that point where they're just kind of like, I'm just ready. I'm okay. I'm okay with what might happen. You're not going to, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees, right? That's the mindset that they get into. So I personally think, in fact, if you remember Martin Luther King, right before Martin Luther King died, giving a speech, right? And all these guys were around him. And suddenly they hear some gunshots off in the distance. And everybody ducks, to hide from the gunshots. They said Dr. King did not duck. He just sat there. He was cool. He's like, okay. Okay, maybe this is the time. I know the time is coming, but maybe this is it, right? Malcolm X, before he was killed, he was offered protection. Bumpy Johnson, I think, offered to give him protection. Like, hey, they trying to come get you, man. We can protect you. He said, no, thank you. I'll be all right. I'll be fine, right? Now, being fine does not mean I'm going to live. Being fine means I'm going to be all right because I'm living my purpose. So one thing about this brother that I love about him is that he was living his purpose. When you live your purpose, there's something just that really special that just happens when you're like, okay, I can do this. I could be here. I could be in this space until I'm dead, and I'm okay with that. What is when you die like a punk, when you die doing some shit that you don't even want to do for people that you don't even like, pretending to be somebody that you're not. When you die like that, then you feel like you missed out because you never got a chance to be who you truly are. But when you die in your purpose, you really have a view into what it feels like to be immortal. You have a view inside immortality. So I'm just encouraging you, if you want to learn something from this brother's life, I'm just encouraging you, figure out what your purpose is. Whatever this energy is that's inside of you, whether it's anger, it's sadness, it's frustration, anything like that, take that energy and apply it to your life. Get inspiration from it. Because we gotta get something. Don't get filled up with hate or despair or lose hope in the future of the community just because you're feeling sad about this. No, you can't do that. In fact, The Vietnamese, when the Vietnamese were being bombed, the United States was trying to shut down the Viet Cong in North Vietnam during the Vietnam War. They were like, how's this little damn country gonna fuck with us? We're the mighty United States of America, and they have no business even acting like they can fight us. So you know what they did? They said, we got bombs and they have no bombs. So we're gonna bomb the shit out of them until they finally, we break their spirit and they quit. They're gonna surrender because we're gonna drop so many bombs on them that they won't know what hit them. And they started doing what they call carpet bombing, where they would just bomb every damn thing. Oh, little old ladies, rice paddies, people's houses, daycares. They did not give any fucks. They would bomb everything. And you know what happened? The North Vietnamese never gave up. They continued to fight. They would blow up. They would find out that they had a road that they would bring the Ho Chi Minh Trail. They would use to bring down weapons and supplies. So they would bomb the shit out of the road, just blow up the trail. And within 2 or 3 days, they blow up a bridge. Within 2 or 3 days, the bridge will be rebuilt again. Then they blow it up again. 2 or 3 days, the bridge will be rebuilt again. And 30 years later, they asked the people in North Vietnam, they said, how did you survive all of that? They said, we dropped more bombs on you in the Vietnam War that had been dropped on all of Europe throughout all of World War II. How did you survive that? And they said, we had a saying. The saying was, if they blow it up, we will rebuild. If they blow it up again, we will rebuild again. And that's exactly how they were able to keep rebuilding and continue to have that resilience. No matter how many people died, they just rebuilt. No matter how much stuff got blown up, they will rebuild. No matter how much carpet bombing they did, they will rebuild. The relentlessness is what got them through. So I think for Black people, I think that if we have that mentality when it comes to reclaiming our communities, when it comes to overcoming white supremacy in our kids, when it comes to building up our wealth, when it comes to us excelling as human beings, if we have that mindset, then they can't burn down a Black Wall Street because we'll build 1,000 Black Wall Streets. And if they burn down that 1,000, we'll just rebuild that 1,000. If they burn that down, we'll rebuild another 1,000. You must have that resilience and you must be ready to pay the ultimate price to do that because you are at war. Nipsey Hussle was at war. And as a soldier does, sometimes when you go to war, things don't work out, even if you are fighting for a good cause and you are well prepared. So, I actually, I'm sad. I'm very sad for the brother. I'm very sad to see him die. But part of me is very excited for him for the way he lived. And I think that the way he lived will be celebrated for many, many years. And he's going to be remembered in ways that very few rappers get to be remembered. Very few rappers get to be immortal. So in some ways, his physical death has led to spiritual immortality. Believe me, y'all gonna be talking about Nipsey Hussle 25 years from now, similar to how people were talking about Tupac and Biggie and people like that. And can no rapper compete with Tupac and Biggie because they're literally like gods in the space of hip hop. Well, Nipsey Hussle in the space of hip hop and rappers that are really doing something for the community, he kind of gets to transcend into almost for him because the more I read about his life and the things he did and the way he impressed people, I'm impressed myself. So that's it. I'm gonna go. You guys have a good day, and I'm gonna go hang out with the woman for a little bit. But I had to share that video with you guys. It's kind of atrocious. I hope it's not real. I mean, I know some of y'all giving me shit like, "Come on, doc, this is fake. This is fake." You don't really know that it's fake. It could be real. Y'all know that there are people out there that are that stupid that really will go on Instagram and brag about who they killed. So, but I hope that it's fake. And if it is fake, then I hope they find the real killer. And I'm not personally bought into the idea that it's all a conspiracy. It could be some just dumb shit. So I don't know. I don't know one way or the other. We'll just let the facts play out. So I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night.